And this morning, inside the Vatican, there are secret discussions going on, coalitions being formed, and a lot of praying, too, as cardinals from all over the world get ready to lock themselves inside the Sistine Chapel for the ancient ritual known as the Conclave. By this time next week, we could know the name of the new pope. Could it be an American? David Wright is once again in Rome for us this morning. David, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. The Pope is obviously the worldwide leader of Catholicism, and the cardinals who will elect him come from nearly 50 different countries, but also, at least symbolically, this is a local election. Among the Pope's other titles, he's the Bishop of Rome, elected by the Roman clergy. Rome has more churches than any other city, enough so that every cardinal has a Roman church assigned to him, where he's technically the pastor. Today, the princes of the church fanned out, becoming parish priests again ahead of the conclave. On Tuesday, they'll shut the doors of the Sistine Chapel for the solemn process of choosing the next Bishop of Rome. Are they eager to get going, from what you hear?
I think it depends on which cardinal you talk to. I think there's a mix.
Greg Burke, the Vatican's senior media advisor, says be prepared. This may not be a short conclave.
I don't think they're in any huge hurry. It's obviously a monumental decision they have to make.
Indeed, there are reports of deep divisions in the ranks.
The two factions supposedly are the Roman Party and the Reform Party.
On one side, the Roman political machine, eager to preserve their fiefdoms. They've reportedly drafted a Brazilian cardinal, Sao Paulo's Odilo Scherer, as their standard bearer.
Scherer is seen as very close to the Roman Curia.
On the other side, the reformers, led by the Americans, who reportedly want a sheriff to clean up after the scandals, possibly even one of them. South African Cardinal Wilfred Napier agrees it's time for the papacy to look far beyond Europe. He told us he'd like to see a pope from the developing world. And the Americans?
Unfortunately, I think no one would be too keen to have an American pope because they'd say he might be dominated by the American government.
Napier spoke with us this weekend despite the gag order on voting cardinals. Speaking with the press, he told us that he's going into the conclave with a couple of names in mind. He says the first ballot is really like a shotgun blast, scattering a lot of names, and after that the factions begin to coalesce around second, third choices, people that seem to be getting some traction. Dan?
And so many questions this morning about whether this will be a short or a long conclave. David Wright, we know you will be there covering it. And speaking of coverage, Diane Sawyer will be anchoring ABC News special coverage of the Papal Conclave, choosing the new pope, with Josh Elliott and the rest of the ABC News team.